All right, guys, it's FX Brandon here again. I know I haven't posted in a while, but I did just pass the 100K FTMO challenge and verification. So we'll be getting into that right now. And stay tuned to the end. I'm going to be giving you guys some tips as well on how you can pass it yourself. So, yeah, with that being said, let's hop right into it. All right, guys, so I am editing the video, as you can see. And I forgot to mention, if you are interested in learning, stick around to the very end of the video. I will be discussing that in this video as well. So make sure y'all stick to the end. Okay, perfect, guys. So getting right into the account, as you can see here, this is the challenge. So I'll go ahead and refresh this for you guys so you can kind of, see that this isn't fake or anything. And then getting into the balance curve. So as we can see here, I was kind of on a downtrend, honestly, now that I look at it. But this was all okay because I was still following my trading strategy. I did let my emotions kind of get into it. As I noticed, I was closing trades a little short, meaning that, they weren't at their full potential when I wanted to close them, but I was kind of, down a little. So I was like, maybe I should just close the trade. So that way, I'm not as far down, which, when I really noticed that was the case is when I was on my 20th trade, because then I was like, okay, this is not going to get me nowhere. This emotion is a big key of trading. And so that's when I like shut off and just became a robot. And then as we can see here, this trade, looks like it was the 29th trade. It ended up playing out. I closed above what I was previously at. And then I took another couple of trades that didn't go my way, which is totally fine because, I don't take losses personal. Once I shut off my emotion, it is what it is. It's part of the game. And then I hit a trade for, I believe I closed it at 17 grand, which ended up going to, um, I believe it was it would have gone over 15 thousand in profit, but I ended up closing it as soon as I hit that 10, just because why would I, risk of the trade going the other way when I'm already, at profit target. So that's what I went ahead and did. As we can see here, it took me 11 days. Um, you guys kind of know what that is, 11 minimum trading days. My max daily loss was 3,900, pretty much 4,000. Max loss was 6,300, which I noticed. And that's why on the 11th day, I kind of was like, okay, what am I doing? And then that's when I, took that trade that ended up playing out for 17,000. And then, profit target here, obviously, I closed it as soon as we hit that 10 grand. And then, yeah, you guys can kind of see here, where's my average? Where's it at? Okay, right here. So this was one of the worst months that I've ever had of trading, just to be totally honest. I was taking a lot of trades that were hitting stop losses, which kind of got to me, honestly. But then at the end of the day, I need to remember that, it is what it is. You cannot change it. And so obviously my profit factor was low because I was, hitting uh, stop loss constantly. And then here's my average risk to reward, which is 6.24, which obviously isn't entirely true because of that last trade that went and hit 17 grand. So that's why that's so high, but it should be a little lower. I'm thinking around like 3 or 4. And then as we can see here, in my trading journal, you see I ended up closing it at 16, actually. So 16, not 17, sorry. And then, this would have played out to make over, double this, which was crazy. But, I went ahead and closed it early anyway. As you can see, all my stop losses around the same, proper risk management. And then as well as here, my winning trades, which are usually always at least a 1 to 3 risk to reward. Meaning if I'm not going to make 3 times what I'm risking, I'm not taking the trade simple. I believe on this trade, I didn't like the way it was reacting off the level, so I went ahead and closed it early. Which you have to do as a trader as well. You need to learn to adapt to situations. And then yeah, kind of going on to the other side. Here 2600, which is I believe a 5-to-1. Close this one early because I didn't like the way it was reacting. Then here 1300, and then here another 2500. So as you can see, all the trades that I'm winning, their risk to reward is there, and then all these trades that I'm losing is totally fine, because even if you add all of these up right here, which is like 1,000, and then another 1,000, which is like 2,100, and then this right here. So in total, all of these losses would have been like 2,300. And then this trade, one trade by itself, made me 2,600. So I can lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades in a row, hit one, and still be profitable. And so, that goes with this one as well. Obviously, I was hitting stop loss tremendously a lot, which isn't good. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you guys. But, it is what it is, and you can't change that. And so, yeah, these are kind of all the other stats. I mainly just trade Forex. I don't really look into anything else. Yeah, so a lot of people, like to trade indices or gold, metals. I personally don't trade that stuff just because I'm mainly focused on Forex. I do see myself eventually in the future moving towards that kind of stuff, but for now, I'm kind of just focused on Forex in general. And then, so moving on to the verification. So after this, here's the verification. I'll go ahead and refresh this. And then this was perfect. So, trades went exactly how I wanted them to go. I believe I passed it in the first, I want to say 3 days. Let's check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I passed it in 5 days of getting the credentials. So, oh no, actually, I believe on the first day. Yeah, so I passed it in 4 days. So looking into the average risk to reward here, this will be more accurate. It's 3.99. Win rate 37.50, which obviously those compensate for each other. And then looking at the trades I took. So these 0.1 lots were just to fulfill those minimum trading days. And then looking at the actual trades. Okay, so actually I did pass it in 3 days now that I look at this one. So first 2 trades hit stop loss, all around the same amount. And then second trade I hit for 2,100. And then the next day, I took some losses again. I believe it was next day, took some losses as well. And then we hit, I believe it was the same, let's see, GBP, USD, JPY. No, so I ended up losing on this position twice because I believe I had 2 separate entries. Yes, by a pip, it looks like, or 2, yeah. And then I took another trade that same night, that same night, which ended up hitting me for 3,400 and then 3,500. I had 2 positions. They were both around the same. They were both around the same area. Just different stop losses by just a little. And then that went ahead and made me in total around, looks like 7 grand, which was then in the positive, as we can see here. So those trades, I went above, and then I went down again, and then I hit those trades, which ended up bringing me into the profit target. So as you can see here, my max daily loss was 2,300. My max loss was 2,300, and then my profit target, obviously 5,100. So yeah, so that's kind of just an overview of the accounts in general. As you can see in my strategy, it's mainly risk to reward. The way I trade is I can lose, like you saw on the challenge, I can lose 20 trades in a row and still hit one trade, well, one good trade, I'm going to say, because not just any, 3-to-1 risk to reward, but I can hit one trade and it'll either balance out all those losses or even put me in profit. And as you can see that in here as well, I am saying I am forcing it a little. I have been trading a lot. Every session I do take a lot of positions, but I've noticed that's kind of just the way I like to trade, because I trade with other people as well that they have limits on how many trades they take a week, which is, I think sometimes it's like 5 to 6 trades a week, which is, good. But for the way I trade, it doesn't really fit me. So I don't really look into that. And that's how you guys should be as well, as you need to kind of adapt to strategies that you learn as well. Not every strategy you learn is going to fit, perfect to yourself. And like this strategy that I have, I've adapted to it a little. I'm not just gonna, because I learned this strategy. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that I made this. No, I learned this strategy from my mentor, and so I obviously adapted to it a little. I trade a lot, or I take a lot of positions. Sorry. So that's kind of what I just wanted to give you guys a tip on, and then as far as, let me turn off this screen sharing so I can give you 3 main tips for you guys to go ahead and pass this, or pass the FTMO challenge. So how do I stop sharing here? There you go. Okay, so perfect. So getting into the 3 main tips that I wanted to teach you guys is, you have to stay disciplined. You got to stay disciplined to your strategy, to your trading hours, whatever it is. Because as soon as you are not disciplined, that's when you're going to start not disciplining everything else. As soon as, like, say you're going to the gym, 7 days a week, as soon as you miss one day, other missed days are going to follow now. So you're going to more likely to miss other days. And so that's my main first tip. You have to stay disciplined. Okay. You have to have a plan. And that kind of follows into the second tip, which is you have to have a good profitable strategy. I have people hitting me up on Instagram, and they're telling me, their average profit in a month is 3%, and that they're taking the FTMO challenge. Why are you taking the FTMO challenge if profit target is 10% and you have a month to hit that 10% when your current profit is 3% in a month? Guys, you got to realize stuff like this. Like, it's not going to work like that. You're just setting yourself up to fail. You know what I mean? And so, with that being said, don't take the FDMO challenge if it don't make sense. And that's why I tell everybody, that messages me on Instagram that wants to take the FTMO challenge, don't take it. Take the free trial first. It just makes more sense. And then if you see yourself passing the free trial and it was consistent, then take the challenge. You know what I mean? Just like myself, I didn't take the 100,000 FTMO challenge at first. I took the 10,000 to see if I could pass it. Because why would I pay $600, to take a test that I want to fail, or that I'm, more probable to fail than spending 175? You see, I would rather, spend 175, or sorry, I would rather throw away 175 than 610 if things go too worst. And so that's my second tip. You guys have to use common sense and have to have a profitable strategy. If you don't have a profitable strategy, you have to learn first before you trade. Stop trying to trade if you know you're going to lose your money. It's simple as that. And thirdly is patience. Guys, with trading, you have to have patience. You don't understand how important it is. If you guys end up trading, one session and the setups are not there, you need to learn to not trade. You need to learn to turn off the laptop or whatever it is that you're using to trade, your phone. You need to learn to, just not trade. There's always going to be opportunities in the market. So you have to learn to be patient. And as well as when you are trading, you need to learn to be patient to not enter a trade early. And believe me, I had this big problem before as well when I was learning. Well, I'm still learning. You always got to learn. But earlier on, in my stages of forex, I kept being impatient. I kept wanting to enter a trade. As soon as I hopped on the charts, you have to learn to be patient. You don't want to enter a trade too early. Believe me, I've had it happen so many times where I've entered a trade too early, or I'll enter a trade as soon as it stops me out. It'll keep going. It'll go in the direction that I wanted it to go, and that's because I wasn't patient enough waiting for certain things to happen. I kept just wanting to jump into the market, and those are three main tips that I can give to you guys, to pass the FTMO challenge, because the wiggle room, it's not that much. Well, it is, but with the challenge, the way it's set up, you can't have like three bad weeks, because you will hit, max daily loss or max loss, and that's why I also say that management is so important, because if you're risking 0.25% per trade, that's like so many trades you can lose in a row before hitting max loss, or max daily loss. And that's why you always got to keep an eye on your daily loss as well and such. And so, yeah, with that being said, those are the three main tips. And then I am kind of going to be saying this as well, for anybody that sticked around to the end of the video. Sorry, let me adjust this. Is light in the background. Perfect. So if you guys are interested in learning, okay, I have a team that I've been a part of that I have learned so much from. I mean, so much, pretty much everything I know about Forex. If you guys really want to learn and you're serious, hit me up on Instagram. That's where I'll be responding to you guys. You can comment as well, but I most likely won't give you details on YouTube. So hit me up on Instagram. And don't start the message off by just saying Brandon and then waiting for me to respond and then to say that I'm interested in learning. Message me, mentorship, or I'm willing to learn, or something like along those lines, so I can see that and know that you actually are serious about this. However, it does require an investment, guys. As you can see, I just passed the $100,000 FTMO challenge. This knowledge is so significant that it has to have an investment. The return on investment that you invest into yourself for the knowledge is just crazy. When I think about how much I've invested into knowledge to how much I've gotten in return, from profits, from the support in the team. There's so many things that it's given back to me, that investment that I made was nothing, compared to what I'm getting back. And so, I'll give you a little more details. The group, we do live trading sessions. We have, mindset calls, everything along those lines, beginner sessions, more advanced sessions. So it's kind of all of that. So, it's a huge variety. It's not like you're paying and you're getting a course or something. No, this is like live trading, live teaching, and then you have access to I think it's like hundreds of mentors. It's so much. It's unbelievable how much you can learn from this. Like myself, I did. So yeah. With that being said, guys, if you're willing to learn, if you want to learn and you're investment ready, hit me up on Instagram. I'll throw you some more details. But yeah, with that being said, you guys have a great day and look forward to the next video.